that's the same as a house.
Yeah.
Because if you have every room the same, all like, you know, inverted commas, your gym gear.
The yoga pants house.
Yeah, the yoga pants. Oh my God, that's so a thing from now on. The yoga pants house. Welcome to the Wild Roads. I'm Shonah.
And I'm Paula Ivy. Join us for conversations about how we don't do stuff normal.
How we choose the wild roads of life. We want to show you all that's fun and possible, building businesses, making money,
navigating relationships and parenting, things we nerd out about,
and running at our wildest dreams. Yeah, all right. Let me just try something. All right.
Shonah, it's all you. Go for it.
I'm on the stage.
Yeah! I handed you the microphone and you're on the stage. Now we start the podcast.
Welcome, everyone. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're going to get really deep into why we always keep saying that. Paula and I have many discussions where we're like, but we're not just a stylist, we're not just a photographer. And it is something that I guess for us is we need to be heard in some way or another. So this is what we're riffing on today. Welcome. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go, Paula the Ivy.
Yay! that was our intro. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
So it's all going to be casual around here. It's there's no fluffy nonsense. It's all going to be, you know, very raw, very human, very real, and we're going to grow along with our audience. So I'm a bit stoked about this. So excited. Let's go, Paula Ivy. You are not just a photographer, but you are an epic one, I must say. Let's talk about that.
Well, before we talk about that, I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
I think it's really important.
All right, let's do it.
I think this is really cool because here, like with podcasts, right, people might be listening from this one, the very beginning one, or they could be listening from like, you know, whatever episode they get introduced to, all of those sorts of things. So I think it would be really cool for our podcast series if we open up with asking each other a question, because then we get to share a little bit more about who we are. And I have a really good question for us today to answer.
Awesome.
Because I think this is like one of the greatest questions you could ask somebody to get to know them personally.
Yeah.
I think it's the bomb. So, Shonah Lee, who do you have as your most favorite rock star? Like the rock star that makes you just go like, humana, ha, like the hottest rock star ever for Shonah Lee. Who is that?
Okay. And we're not just talking about muscles, are we? No. Because I've got the hottest man in the world.
Yeah. I mean,
I get you.
But
all right.
like who is like the all-time hottest rock star for you? Like if you had to pick one, who would it be?
Yeah. Okay. The hottest in mind, body, spirit, essence, vibe is Lenny Kravitz. I bet you were going to say that. Fuck, I'm glad you asked me first. Okay, so
I love it.
Okay, all right. So wow, I'll tell you the reason why. I don't know if you've seen. Oh my gosh, his house. Like he does interior design as well. So I'm all up in his stuff, right? He has the most amazing style, and I resonated with it so much. So he has a beautiful eclectic mix of a bit of retro, a bit of 70s rock and roll and stuff, but also really cool, minimalist but warm textured stuff. Like I love his design. I love who he is. I love his positive outlook on life. I love his gratitude. He is an amazing communicator. He has beautiful relationships with his ex-wife and all that sort of stuff. Like that's just stuff that I aspire to hopefully have that one day. But you know, just how he carries himself and his unashamedly himself, and just he's not trying to be anything else but Lenny. I freaking love that. I can't.
Oh my god!
He's just I love him.
We are
so good. That's
Okay.
so funny. You have to choose another one now.
Well, I was like, I kind of have two, and Lenny Kravitz, I think, is like just like he's like just ahead. But my other one is Eddie Vedder. Yeah. He was like, but 90s Eddie Vedder. Like he was like everything. But the reason why I loved Lenny Kravitz was because of his style. And I was one of those people that had posters all over my bedroom walls, and like 90% of the posters was Lenny Kravitz. His music is amazing, but also I love his like the way that he presents himself, like his swagger and his walk and his style and all his energy is just, oh my gosh. I love that you know what his house looks like. That is so cool.
One of them. Yeah, I know. I'm such a stalker. But that's my dream house. Definitely my dream house. But I'm like, I've got so many people, like, I don't know about you, P, but I love all sorts of genres with music. I listen to everything except for heavy metal, like real heavy, that stuff I don't like.
Yeah.
But anything else I'm into, like I just love it. Music's my life, and I think it's yours too, hey?
Totally. It's a big part of who I am, and it's I feel like it's especially with you know, when I go to take photos, when I do photo shoots with other people, there's often like I'll often put music on to help with the vibe of the photo shoot. And also before I go and take photos, a lot of the time I am listening to music to get myself in an energy that I'm wanting to photograph. So music to me is, it's life force, really.
Yeah.
And something my husband has, because he's a big muso as well, and something that he has always said as to one of the reasons why he's obsessed with music, and I love this, is that music, it's like you've got the beat of the music. He's like, there's something to do with the beat of the music that syncs up with the beat of the heart. And I was like, it's like when you listen to certain music, like it can either slow you down or it can get you like revved up and ready to party. So so I think that's a cool question for us to start these podcasts off, the first few episodes anyway. Ask each other some music related questions, because I think that's a really cool thing. A really cool way to get to know somebody is what's their music taste.
That's it.
We want to hear in the comments. Are there comments in podcasts? We've never podcasted before, have we?
No.
Well, but if there's comments, we want to know what your favorite musician is. Like, who is your favorite rock star musician of all time? Who's the hottest and why?
All
right.
The energy.
Let's dive in to this podcast. Very first episode of Shonah and Paula's podcast that doesn't have a name yet, but it will. And we might insert it here if you think of the name before. Well, we have to have a name before we put it out there, don't we?
No, exactly, we do. But everything's taken, and we're just, we've been riffing, but we'll see. Hey, it'll be good. It'll be good. All right, so it's got to be something. So my girl, like, photography. You are an amazing photographer. You teach people, like, this is the understatement of the year, how to take amazing photographs of themselves. I mean, your work is just on a deeper level than I can even explain or articulate here. But sometimes you feel that I'm just a photographer. I don't want to be seen as just a photographer. And 100%. I know that we both feel. So tell me your take on that, because I want to tell you my take on why I feel like I just don't want to be known as just a stylist.
Yeah, because, I mean, I've worked with you as well in styling the bedroom that people on the podcast can't see, but it's like, and to me, you're not just a stylist either. Like, the way that your work runs so deep, and I think that this was something that has been what's like, it's been a running soundtrack in my head. Oh, music reference. There we go. Like, it's been a soundtrack in my head for so long that when I switched my business, my photography business, for taking photos of other people, and I switched it into, or I didn't switch, but like I transformed into a personal brand online, and I started teaching photography and started teaching people how to take photos of themselves for content creation. Like, that's how it all really started. Was for so long I felt drawn to explore and talk about more of the energetic side of photography, and how it actually is a way for you to connect with who you are and your purpose and your desires, and you know what's calling you. That I use that as a tool for that. And then but then I was like, well, people are just wanting photography tips. Like, how do I just take a really good photo of myself? How do I look good in a photo? And for me, it was like, there are technical ways, and that's obviously, I've been a photographer since I was a kid. So obviously I know some things about photography. Like, I've learned a lot, and I've been taking photos pretty much my entire life.
Been around for a minute.
I know the lighting, and I know the angles, and I know the poses and all of that sort of stuff. But for me, what actually brings photos alive, and what is actually the energy and the magneticness and the magic to a photo, is your energy, is your state of being, is how you connect to yourself and how you see yourself. So for me, it was like, I wanted to go a lot deeper, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm just a photographer. Yeah, but I just teach selfies, and I know you and I have been in a mastermind together for a while, and I know that this has come up a few times, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just a photographer though, guys. And you're like, no, you're not. No.
Oh, this is a thing. And I mean, the biggest thing that I've noticed is, especially like with my work, and obviously I'm on brand as well, like, I am my own brand, so I'm showing myself all the time, is that you made me very aware of my energy and how I portray myself online in a certain moment. So for example, like we all go through human stuff, right? And we just have ups and downs and trials and tribulations, ebbs and flows. So when my energy is off, or I don't try to look into what's going on with myself, the energy is all over my face, which is dull, which is lifeless. And I will try and show up, and I'll try and take some selfies because I need to have a picture to write some content, and it's just not working. And then that's when I feel that. Exactly. That's right. Yeah. And then when my energy is high and I've worked through some stuff, I've worked through some things that were holding me back, or whatever it is that I need to work through, oh my God, it can be the same day and my face is totally different. I look 10 years younger. And so it was kind of like, what, you didn't just show me what angle and what lighting and where to put myself on the grid on the phone. It was more like, let's look deeper here. What's your energy? What's your vibe? What do you need to work through? That was phenomenal. And that's a daily practice for me.
Yeah, exactly. And also that sometimes you don't realize that you're in a funk. It can be like one of those low level, like slow burn under the surface kind of funky things. It's kind of just slipped in, but you kind of went, something's a little off, but it's cool. Like, I'm still getting stuff done. I still kind of feel good, blah, blah, kind of brush it aside. But then when, and I suppose working with people, like clients especially, and seeing the difference in the response that they get and the engagement that they get with their posts, because you could write the same thing, the same words on different photos, and you can get very different engagement from that, very different response. So when you are feeling like you're in your energy, you feel at home in your body, and things are amazing and everything's just flowing and you're doing all the things and it's feeling really good and you're writing. I find when I write posts, when I'm in that vibe, like, I've got a lot of things to say because I'm like, it's just flowing out of me. It feels really good to say it. And I'm not overthinking things. I'm not like trying to try and make it sound even better, or because all the things. But it's like when that happens, I could pretty much write anything if I put it with a photo that shows my energy that I'm in, people connect to that. They read so much more into what they see visually through your body language and your energy than the actual words themselves. So I think that is a really big one, because so often you hear people like, yeah, but I do the post and I post at this time every single day and I'm consistent with it and I'm still not getting the engagement. What's going on? Like, I'm ticking the boxes. It's like, but you're not connecting to your energy. You don't have to tick the boxes.
Less strategy.
Less strategy, more energy.
Well, look, that's what we're talking about at the start. Hey, like Lenny Kravitz, we're magnetized to him because has the energy and the vibe. And I'm sure on his, there's times where he's not sort of fronting the camera if he's had a bad day, but that makes us stop, right? It makes us stop and go, wow, okay, I'm just drawn to that image. Okay, now what have you got to say? I think you said that on my post the other day, just like, oh my God, that photo is amazing.
Yeah. And your photo stopped me.
And then you're like, okay, now go read the things. And it's true. That's how we work.
Exactly
I
right.
love it. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And I guess that's one of the biggest reasons why I love Lenny, is because he's a whole energetic situation. Like everything about him is like, it's an art form.
It is art.
Like everything is. And that's why I find musicians and entertainers like so interesting to follow, because they're like this, it's like artistry of who they are and what they're representing, and how they're expressing themselves creatively. And it goes through everything about who they are and their being. So and that was a big thing that I learned from you, working with you one-on-one and having you help me style my home, was that your environment is really important to your energy, and to the energy that you feel every day. And one of the things that I absolutely love about working with you was that it wasn't, okay, Sean, what's the style that my whole house has to be to make it cohesive and to make it look, magazine worthy, because it needs to, like, I actually need to have a really good looking house for photos. Like, I want it to look amazing. I want it to photograph well. I want it to feel like an extension of me and like me in my habitat, so to speak. But then it's like, I'm energy. I'm always ebbing and flowing and going through all these different energies. Like, I can be really over the top excited and loud and bubbly and just like sometimes a little bit too much for people, but then other times I can be really grounded. And it's one of the things I loved working with you was that I was like, oh, but we've got this in the bedroom, and what about the lounge room? And you're like, yeah, it doesn't have to be the same. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be the same? What? And one of the most valuable questions you asked me is like, well, what do you want to feel when you're in your bedroom? What do you want to feel when you're in your lounge room? What do you want to feel when you're in this part of your home? Let's style to that.
This is
that's going to help evoke that. Yeah.
Yeah, because, having a house that's magazine worthy, you can step into it and go, wow, this is nice. And that doesn't last, that feeling. That feeling does not last. It's like being in a resort and going, hey, this actually feels beautiful. And then by the end of it, you want to go home. By the end of your holiday, by the end, you want to go home because you want to surround yourself. So if you create a home or build or renovate and you feel like you have to have Scandinavian style all the way through, and, it has to be same tile, same thing all the way through, you're going to find that there's going to be times when you're just sitting in your home and feeling bleh. There's no escape from it. And that's why it's really important to have different pockets of your home where you want to feel, where you want to just, curl up and read a book and just feel sad for a minute and put music on and feel sad and cry some tears. You want a space where you want to have conversation and entertain and have that feel good energy, and your spaces create the energy. It's all the things. So I guess.
And to have all of that come together is artistry.
Yeah.
Like, to have the rooms feeling the way that you would love your energy to be in those, or your energy to be held in those rooms. Like that's artistry to then bring that all together.
Yeah, and it has to be, and when I say it has to be, it really is like a desire to have your style. Like there's no good me coming into your house and going, oh, Paula, like if you really want that lounge room to feel like you can have people over, and you're going to have a disco ball, girlfriend, and you're going to have an orange wall, and you're going to have this, and you're going to have that. So it's all party, party. Mate, that's not you. Like that's it. It's like you have to be yourself, as well as the style, as well as the vibe, and knowing yourself so much that you know the energy, you know what you like, whether you like nature or whether you like, luxe wallpaper. Know yourself and surround yourself with the things that make you feel the best you can be, and hugs you as soon as you walk in the door.
I love that. An energetic hug when you walk through the door.
Yeah.
It's so good when it feels like that. And I know I've lived in places and it hasn't felt like that. I come home like, I'm at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so definitely this place, I get hugged when I walk in the door now. And it's beautiful. It feels amazing. Something that I think a lot of people struggle with is that we get told that we need to niche down. Like, what's your niche? Stick to what you're an expert in, all of these things. But I think for like most people who are personal brands, who have skills and things that they're wanting to teach and help people with, and are in the space of wanting people to thrive and wanting to feel at home in their bodies and wanting to connect more to who they be, that like at the heart of it, our work is very similar. You use the tool of styling and I use the tool of photography, but we're both helping people to feel at home in their bodies, to feel more connected to who they are and to express that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And there's, and both of us are multi-passionate. I think everybody's multi-passionate. But it's what you want to bring to the world, like I guess part of this, I'm not just a stylist, that keeps coming up for me in the mastermind over the last couple of years, is just that, there's a different side of me that helps people, it's through life learnings, through wisdom that I've, grabbed onto along the way. And I guess there's, we can help people in all different ways, in all different aspects. And I don't want to be, I guess it was just like when I was having the little tanty, it wasn't really a tanty, but it feels like a tanty. I'm not just a stylist.
It does.
It's when I'm like, I don't want to be just known how I can place cushions, that's
almost
it.
a rejection of that too. It's like, I'm done with it. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Exactly.
Because it's not fueling my soul. But it's actually your point of difference.
Yeah.
It's actually the thing that so well, that is a tool and a strategy when people come to you and they're like, I don't feel like I'm connected to what I'm supposed to be doing, or I need help in like expressing who I am. Like, this is the tool that we use. Yeah. And that opens up so many other ways and things like photography. I mean, oh my gosh, you could like everybody can use it. And what you take photos of and what you take photos of you doing is so very much like it's open. It's the craft, and it's the same with styling. Like the environments that we put ourselves in is so important, and they can shift and change as well as we go. Like, it's just the thing.
Always. We're always evolving. We always evolve in taste, in style, and that is, based on environmental influence as well, and trends are there to inspire us, but not to dictate. But it's like we're ever changing, evolving, and some people fear the change and like, well, it's going to confuse my audience if I keep pivoting, if I keep changing. And it's just like, no, let everyone just grow together.
That's the magneticness of it, is what I've found.
Yes.
It's like when you open yourself up to that wild ride of like riding the expansion waves,
Oh man, how
And
good is
like
it?
just like and
It's so
going with it
fun.
and taking people along on
Yeah.
the wave, like having a party wave instead of being
Yeah.
like, oh, just we'll I just gonna go and navigate this wave, and then I'll see you back on the sand when we know everything and la la. It's always the same.
Yeah.
But it's like just
Yeah.
bring people out onto the wave with you and let them ride it
Yeah,
with you,
exactly. That's
because
right.
like that is what I see. Like that is what I love. Like the connection with another human being when they're going through something. It's like that's the relatable part. That's the bit that that they're going through stuff too. They
Imagine if we
haven't set
watched.
this impossible bar of like what you need to try and get
Yeah,
to.
that's right. Expectations. But
Yeah.
imagine if we watched movies like rom-coms and stuff where, oh, they just met. Oh, this is nice. And then it goes straight to the wedding.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we miss out on
What's
all
the
those
ride?
bits in, well, yeah.
That's the bit, isn't it?
That's the bit that we want to watch. We want to watch them have their, and they're, no, when they get hurt and they're sad and then they come back together and it's beautiful. And we want to watch all of that. And I think that's what people are missing, the plot. It's like, this is the plot. We need to share the plot, not just the beginning, not just the ending of each chapter, but what happens in between.
Yeah, definitely. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much.
So there's so much depth to everybody, and everybody has, all this stuff that they can share to the world, and the world collectively needs to hear from everybody. And I think that's part of my identity coaching is, as well as my under my other umbrella, is to really encourage people to share what they have, because we all need it. We all absolutely need it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sharing it through stories is, I think, the most powerful thing, because you're sharing like how it's helped you through your life, or how you use it and why you're using it, and what are the things that have come up because of it, rather than just like, these are the 5 steps for taking amazing photos. Now go take amazing photos. There you go. The end. Instead, I'm sharing like, this is how I take photos, and this is what I capture, and this is how I do it, rather than this is how you should do it, and these are the steps, and if you do this and then this and then this, you'll get this result. But it's
it's funny, isn't it?
It is funny, but it's I mean, we're not taking digs at people, but it's
I do
thing.
this.
But that's what it's the funny thing. It's like, just tell me the steps and I'll do it. But when you get into that space, whether it is like how to take photos, or how to style, or like how to build a business, or how to get sales, or whatever it is, so many people are like, just tell me the steps and I'll do the steps because I want the thing.
Well, this is it. That was me. Then, sometimes still me, that goes back into old conditioning. Just tell me what I need to do. But it's kind of like, oh, that mindset stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I needed it. Yeah. I didn't think I needed it, but I needed it. So, there's that.
What's the cliche saying? It's not what you do, it's who you are when you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Who says that? Somebody says that.
It's pretty good, though. I like it.
It is pretty good.
That, but that's great.
Credit to whoever says that.
Yes, that's cool.
But it is. It's totally, 2 people can do exactly the same things and get very different results.
Exactly. And do you know what? The other thing is, when you were talking before, a little thing popped up, was just like perfection. I'm sure for you, as the amazing photographer you are, you would probably take about 10 photos before you find the best one, right?
Or more. Oh my God,
sometimes,
that's one of the biggest things. People are like, oh, every photo you take is pure gold. Oh, you just keep outdoing yourself. I'm like, oh my gosh, every photo I take is not pure gold.
I know.
Even the best photographers in the world take crap photos. But here's the thing, I don't take it personally when I take a photo that doesn't work. I go, okay, hang on, I need to adjust something. And that's when I go to my tool bag and I'm like, okay, cool. Is the lighting right? Do I need to shift where I'm standing? Is the composition quite not working here? Is it my clothing? Is it the background? Is it enough texture or depth here? Like, that is what can help fine tune the things. But then a big part of it is my energy on point? Like, well, not on point, but am I expressing myself am I allowing my energy to come through, or am I blocking my energy by thinking too much about how to position my body, or by the clothing that I'm wearing? Because the clothing that I'm wearing isn't allowing me to express the emotions that are coming through me. Because I mean, clothing is such a it's such a big thing when it comes to taking photos. And I mean, I'm a minimalist, so I don't have a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
I even did a whole video showing everybody how many clothes I have.
I'm in awe. I am in awe. I have got a wardrobe full of clothes I don't wear, but yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, I even hired a stylist, a fashion stylist at the end of last year, because we'd traveled around Australia and all of my clothes were pretty much falling apart and had holes in them, and they were covered in stains, because that's what happens when you travel full time. And I barely bought any. I bought a couple of things when we were traveling, but then I got back and I was like, okay, I need to replace a lot of stuff, and I don't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to wear, that I don't love. I hate shopping. So I hired a stylist. I'm like, tell me what to buy. And she went out and she would find all these things, and it was the best experience. She would call the shops ahead, because she lives in a different state than I do, and we're doing this online, and it was kind of, they were in lockdown and we weren't, sort of thing, so it was a bit tricky. But she would call the stores ahead, and she's like, can you put this and this in all these sizes and colors for my client? She's going to come in. And then all I had to do was try them on and go, yep, nah, yep, nah. And then I'll be like, I bought this. And she's like, okay, let's go to the next shop. This is what I want you to try on, because this is going to go with this. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I can't think like that. But the thing is,
great.
right?
That's good.
What in my brief to her was like, I need clothes that photograph well, and I need clothes that help me to express different energies. So, you know, I need clothes that help me express when I'm feeling, you know, strong and I'm feeling fit, and I want to wear some athletic wear. Like, you know, there are days when I wake up and I'm like, I just want to wear like Lycra, because I feel amazing and I feel strong, and I want everybody to see how amazing and strong I am. My legs.
Maybe I should get that disco ball for you.
Maybe it could be one of those ones that sort of just, it has a compartment in the ceiling, and it just drops down whenever I'm in disco vibes, and then I can go up into the ceiling.
That's it. Oh my God.
When I'm definitely not in disco vibes. But then there's days when I'm like, I just feel really fun and flirty, and I want to wear a flowy skirt, and I want to twirl around in my skirt and flick it around and just feel like, you know, the biggest girly girl. And then there's other days where I'm like, I just want to be an absolute rock star and look like a badass. So
yes. So that's the crossover.
Clothes, to help me express that, because when you put clothes on, it's kind of like you're putting on a costume, and it helps you to really let that energy out. It amplifies that energy. Whereas, and this is a big thing that I was learning from Julie Tanner. She's from Nourishing the Mother. They've also got a podcast. It's amazing. You should go check that out.
Yes, I love it.
I'm in Julie's Queen School, and I actually got her in my Selfie Queens group or course to do a special training on adornment, what she calls adornment. And this is exactly what she talks about with the clothing. And I'm like, that's such a thing. Sometimes you go to take a photo and you're like, I'm not feeling it. And then you check in with your energy, and you're like, I want a flowy skirt to twirl around, and I'm wearing freaking yoga pants. That is the complete opposite of what my energy is wanting from me right now.
That's it.
It's blocking.
And
my
imagine if that, right? This is where I'm saying, like, this is a crossover. Imagine if all your clothes were just Lycra, right? And that's all you had, and that's all you wore, and you had to try and make it work when you weren't feeling it, when you really want that flowy skirt, or you really want you know, some rock star vibes, but you have to make it work with your gym gear. That's the same as a house. Because if you have every room the same, all, like, you know, inverted commas, your gym gear,
the yoga pants house.
The yoga pants. Oh my God, that's so a thing from now on. The yoga pants house. You go the yoga pants house. If every room's a yoga pant room, then how are you going to be your rock star or be your goddess feminine if it's only just a yoga pant room? So that's where the crossover is. It's kind of like, that's where it's like, create your vibe, create your energy, create what you want to feel.
Definitely. And that's and a big thing about that is like, I felt like I didn't want to rush into buying a whole new wardrobe and then chucking everything out, because I'm also like, I will wear something until it dies, because one, I want to get, I want the thing to have its lifespan. If I'm really not in love with it anymore, I will like sell it or donate it or pass it on to somebody who will wear it. But I'm the type of person, like, I will buy something and I will wear it until it pretty much falls apart, and then I'll buy a new one. And so that was something that I was really conscious about working with a stylist. I said, I still want to be a minimalist. I don't want to end up with a whole wardrobe full of stuff. I want it to be like, I've got some really cool basics that can kind of flip-flop through different energies. Like, I could wear this when I'm in this energy if I pair it with this, but if I pair it with that, then it's a whole new vibe, sort of thing. Yeah. And one of the things is accessories. Like, you might have to be wearing the yoga pants because maybe that's your job. You're a yoga instructor, and you're like, I have to wear yoga pants today because I'm going to go teach some classes, but my energy is really wanting me to be really like floaty, curly and floaty. I was trying to say
curly and floaty.
But yeah, it's like, you can do that and you can express that through accessories. And it's the same with your house. Like, you might be looking around at your furniture and you going, yeah, it's so yoga pants right now. But I don't want to throw out perfectly good furniture, or I don't have the money to replace, like, our bed or whatever. Yeah. It's like, accessorize.
It's it. It's the accessory. And that's it. It's the accents. It's adorning. You can change your cushions. You can move pictures around. You can put some plants in. You can get yourself some flowers on your feminine day. Or you can just masculine it up and go when you're, like, right, let's do this, and, get on rock and roll or whatever. You can change things up, move things around, and it's an impartant. That's a new word. What did you say today about making up new words? Hey, word nerd, what's that? Impartant.
Word nerd, yeah. I did a post last night about words that I loved and the meaning of the word, and I'm like, I'm such a word nerd, but I don't really know how to, like, put the sentences together. I don't see myself as very good at the whole words situation. I think I've done pretty good with this podcast.
No, you're amazing.
But, like, writing
you did amazing.
But I guess that's also conditioning from school, because like, I almost failed English, and I was always, marked down on like creative writing and things like that, going, yeah, you're not very good.
What did they know?
I know, but then I love words and I love meanings of words. And I especially love when people make up words. So
important. Impartant is a good one.
Impartant.
Impartant. I didn't even remember what we were talking about, but it was important.
It was important.
Anyway, it was important. But we could go on all day. So, yeah, that's it.
I guess the thing is, if I was to leave this with one thought, it would be the tool that you use. Like, you're not just a photographer, you're not just a stylist, you're not just insert your training area thing here or expertise here. It's the energy of the thing. It's like, when you are styling, the energy that you are in when you're styling is like next level. The energy that I'm in when I'm taking photos is next level. And that is an important piece to, if you are sharing what it is that you know and you're creating things and, that's what your brand is about, then what's the energetics of it? Like, what's the energy that is cultivated from the work that you do? And how does the tool that you use help other people connect to more of who they are and express themselves?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think it doesn't have to define you, but it is a foundation that you build upon, and then it just, it just grows. There's lots of rivers and creeks and all the things that it's actually like a map, I guess, and to get to a destination. And I think anyone that fears that they feel like, but I've only got this, I'm only good at this, I'm only, I'm a creative, but all I do is cook, for instance. It's
that's an art.
It is such an art, but look at the essence of it, of like, nutrition for ourselves, but what you're able to gift other people and help other people do. And there's so much more to that. And it's so much more to everybody's industry, their craft, the things that they love. There's so much more to that. So
what's the situation? What's the whole energetic situation?
Yes.
What's the artistry of it?
Look deeper. There's always something deeper. Yeah. I wish everyone could see Paula's eyes just then. It was just like in a trance. Oh my God.
There might be a visual. We're recording the visuals.
Yeah. Well, I think we should do that. Yeah. All right, everybody. I reckon we have had the best conversation for our first podcast.
Definitely. I think we podcasted. I think we podcasted.
Podcasted.
We podcasted it. I don't know. What do you say? We created a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we did nail it.
Yeah, we did.
We are a little bit ridiculous, but that's just we're just the unprofessional professionals.
Yes.
That
like to have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So join us for the next episode. We don't know what it's on yet, but it's going to be on something fun. Yeah. And I hope you enjoy our intros and outros because they are still being made right now. But I'm sure they're going to be amazing because Shonah's rockstar husband, who's a musician, is helping us with that. And it's going to be awesome.
He's going to be doing some now. So
now. Wouldn't it be creepy if that was actually the riff?
I'm just going to show him. I'm just going to say, just do something like this. It's been fun. All right. Have an amazing day.
You too. Love you.
Love you.
Wild Rose. Wild Rose.